So for this flower, we're going to do the same thing to all 3 of the cans. So I'm going to show you in detail on one, and then we'll just repeat that with the other 2. So we'll put these aside for now. Now we're going to be using this bit for the centre of the flower, the bottom. So we're going to cut the top off as high up as you can get, so near that ridge where it starts to curve in. So dig your scissors in, and then you need to cut that. Cut that bit off, you can use that for something else. Discard it. Now we're going to cut this into 10 sections. So they're going to have to open out, so you need to make sure that you cut as far down as you possibly can, otherwise it won't curl out properly. So do it in half first, and then do each half into 5, which will make quite long, thin, narrow petals. And when you've done each one, you should be able to curve it out. It won't curve out properly, just cut a little bit further down like that. You can see, I'm just going to show you, it cuts all the way down to the centre, and then it should curve out beautifully. Okay, so do that, so you've got 10 petals. Okay, so I tried to make them vaguely even and did a terrible job, but it doesn't really matter because all of them are going to come out slightly differently, and that's fine because petals are usually slightly irregular anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut away the base of each petal. So on each side of the petals, that will make it cut out even. That will make it curl out even better. Sorry, I can't get my words out. So you're just going to trim that bit off. A little bit tricky, but you can curve it up if you want and do it like that. We can try turning it over, that might work as well. Yeah, that seems to work better, doesn't it? And then you just trim that bit off. Just be careful of those little sharp bits. And then you're going to do the same with each of the petals. They've got a slightly triangular shape. So on each side, cut down like that, cut down like that, trim that excess off, whichever way's best, and do that for all 10 of them. Right, so here's my flower. Now we're going to cut the petals. So I have a very rounded tip, and it's not necessarily smooth, so you might want a little dip in the middle. Kind of thinking like a daisy kind of shape, but you can make each one. I actually find it's often easier to start in the middle, and then to do the other side I turn it over. Okay, so we do that side. However, whatever works for you. Obviously I'm right-handed, so, and you want very blunt shaped petals that taper down towards the bottom, and the tips of the petals on all the layers are what you're going to see the most. You need to pay attention to those. Most of this won't be seen on all the other layers. Alright, so here are my petals cut, and then we're now going to get the other 2 cans and treat them exactly the same way so that we have 3 identical layers. So here are my 3 layers of petals, and obviously they're going to fit together like this, all slightly overlapping, and then we need to fix them together. So let's go and paint these. Alright, so I've painted these marigold sections now, and obviously they're all going to fit together. So all I have to do is drill 2 holes in the middle and then fasten together with some wire. So you could do this with a hammer and nails, you separate them out. I'm going to do it with a power drill. So I'm resting it on some wood, and then I'm just going to hold it firmly. Should fit really nicely together. And then I get a piece of wire. I'm going to thread it through those 2 holes. Make a kind of stitch to hold everything together. Through like that. Out the other side at the back. Then just twist it tightly together. Whoops. And there's my marigold. I'm going to just touch up this middle spot to hide the wire with a bit of the paint that I've used. Actually, this is nail varnish actually, because it's the colour that I needed. And then give it a coat of varnish and that'll be ready. There we go, there's the final piece. Ready to go outside, so I'll be able to use that to fasten this wire to fasten it to the fence. I like that, very pretty.